Hi guys, it's Escalax, and today I'm going to talk about kind of about main battle tanks. But today I just kind of wanted to talk about main battle tanks, but specifically the Vanu specific main battle tank, which is the Magrider. So let me show you what the Magrider is. Okay, here it is. So a lot of people who don't play Vanu Sovereignty, so that would be of course the NC and the TR, the Terran Republic and the New Conglomerate. A lot of those players, some of them kind of talk about the Magriders being a little bit overpowered. And I just kind of wanted to address that issue today and talk about why the Magrider is, in my opinion, not overpowered and why I believe it's actually fairly balanced compared to the other main battle tanks. As you know, the Magrider is the main faction-specific tank for the VS. Each faction has its own specific battle tank, and each main battle tank has its own kind of like pros and cons, right? So things that it's good at, things that it's bad at, things where it excels, and things where it just doesn't really shine too particularly well. And so the main thing that people really gripe on about the Magrider is that it has very good maneuverability. It can climb mountains. I mean, it literally can. And to demonstrate that, I think I'll just go into VR. Which is the virtual training, if I could get there. I guess we'll just spawn at the warp gate, and then we'll just kind of head back to the virtual training thing. And it's actually pretty well balanced, I believe. And hopefully I'll be able to show you guys why I believe it's fairly well balanced in a little bit. But just to give you some quick context about my experience with the Magrider, is that, do not show this tutorial again, is that I don't have a lot of experience with the Magrider, right? I think if I go and check how much time I have spent on a Magrider here on my character stats, right? If it loads, because it takes a while to load, I could go down to here to my character stats, and I could check out my Magrider stats, and I only have about Magrider 3 hours and 35 minutes with the Magrider in total. So that's not a lot at all. Under any circumstances, that's not a lot. If I look at my Lightning, I have 3 days, 19 hours, and 32 minutes piloting a Lightning, right? That is a lot of time, right? That's a lot of time putting into driving around a Lightning and Planetside too. And compare that to my Magrider, I don't have any experience at all with the Magrider from which I could actually give out any sort of, finite kind of saying, oh yeah, this is why it's super good, or this is why it's super bad. But because I do play Vanu, I do have experience with playing with Magriders, and I do have experience with Magriders, being part of the composition of the groups I'm in, I suppose. So here's a Magrider, and the Magrider is a main battle tank, and this is pretty much just the stock Magrider you get right out of the box. There's nothing special to it. It has just one cannon, which is the Supernova PC. It's pretty all around good. It doesn't really do anything special. It's not like the Magrider Supernova FPC, and it's not like the Supernova VPC. The VPC is more good for, it's kind of like the it's like high explosive, I suppose. So it's really good for like anti-infantry. Oh crap, I accidentally clicked like unlock. I do not want to unlock that. Okay, and the FPC is mainly against like actual tanks. And then the Supernova is more comparable to something like the Heat, if you do have a Lightning, and the Heat is just good for all-around damage, right? So it's good against, it's kind of like a master of all. It's good at everything, but it's a master of nothing. So the Heat it's good against infantry, it's good against vehicles, but it doesn't do nearly as much damage as the Python AP against tanks, and it doesn't do nearly as much damage as the HE against infantry. But it's a good middle ground between the two, right? And then the Viper is kind of its own thing. And so the Magrider is kind of like the same thing, right? So the Supernova, it's very good against vehicles, but not very good against infantry, right? The VPC is very good against infantry, not very good against vehicles. But the Supernova PC is good all around against most things. Again, it doesn't do as much damage against vehicles as the FPC, and it doesn't do as much damage against infantry as the VPC. So it's a good middle ground, right? And that's basically what I use. But just talking about the Magrider, and the reason why the Magrider isn't overpowered is because, as you can see here, as what I'm trying to demonstrate, is that although the Magrider has great maneuverability, the thing that the Magrider compromises in terms of its maneuverability is the fact that it doesn't really have a turret. Now, you can make the argument that yes, it does indeed have a turret, which it does. If I press F2 here, I'm manning the secondary turret, which is just a basilisk, which isn't very good at all. It's very bad. So you probably want to put like a Sauron laser or something like that on here. And it's not very good at all. It's not terribly effective compared to other options that you might have, right? So it does, technically speaking, have a turret. But if we're just talking about the main turret itself, right? If we do have, this main turret here, which I'll fire right now, the supernova. The supernovas don't have a turret. They can't move. The only way you can really move the supernova is if you're actually moving your vehicle around. That's the only way you can move the supernova and really aim the supernova. So think of it as an SPG, a self-propelled, a self-propelled tank, right? A self-propelled gun. Think of it as a self-propelled gun in something like World of Tanks, or just like an actual like military combat, right? Think of it as a self-propelled gun. That's the best way I could describe it. Yes, it does have good maneuverability. However, with that maneuverability, you compromise your ability to kind of like actually turn and shoot with your main weapon, the main cannon. And because of that, I actually believe it's fairly balanced. And the reason why is because, I mean, if you're trying to engage two opponents, right, you kind of have to face one, right, and not the other. And so if you have like, multiple tanks that are kind of coming at you, multiple enemies coming at from different directions, you really have to move your tank and expose your tank to many different firing positions. So if I'm shooting here in this direction, I'm exposing my backside to the people that might be behind me, or to the people who might be to the side, in any of those situations, right? And yes, it does have, you could turn very well, but then again, you're exposing yourself to all of these different sides. And then in terms of the mag burn ability, the mag burn ability is good. I don't have it equipped, but what the mag burn ability basically is it's equipable for utility here, but at the same time you lose IR smoke, but it's alright. The mag burn ability, what it basically allows you to do is you burn fuel, right, and it increases your speed. So it's really good for getting away from combat. But the negative side to that is that if you're turning away, you can't run away and shoot with the Magrider. That's the main problem, is that if you have the Magrider, you can't like go into a certain direction, go into combat, and then try and pull out while shooting at the enemy. It just doesn't work that way with the Magrider. And if you do try and retreat with the Magrider, the only weapon that's actually going to be able to fire while you're retreating is going to be your secondary cannon here. That's the only weapon that's going to be able to actually shoot. I don't know why my Magrider is spinning, but that's the only weapon that's actually going to be able to shoot while you're retreating in any direction. So that's the main negative effects of the Magrider in that kind of situation. And so when you're using the Magrider for its intended purposes, well, not necessarily for its intended purposes, but if you're using the mag burn for what it excels at, which is getting away, you are exposing your back to a lot of fire, especially if you're going against another main battle tank. So that's pretty much all I kind of have today about the Magrider, talking about it. Those are the kind of pros and cons. It's really good, has really good maneuverability. You can get into places that a lot of other main battle tanks just simply can't get onto because of its ability to, just hover on top of stuff. It's just, it has excellent maneuverability, but it does come at a rather steep price, I suppose, right? And that price is that, you can't really, aim your gun wherever it is you really want to. You really have to turn the whole tank to really fire somewhere, and that's a rather hindering thing when it comes to actually being in combat. So that's my opinion. I don't think it's overpowered. I think it's actually fairly balanced. The Prowler has its own advantages. The Vanguard has its own advantages as well, though the Vanguard's a little bit iffy in terms of my personal opinion. I think the Vanguard I think the Vanguard is fairly balanced, and the Prowler is also balanced as well. So again, overall, I just think most things in this game are actually fairly balanced. I don't think there's one thing that's really overpowered. The Ravens used to be overpowered way back when, not way back when, but a few months ago, maybe last year, it was kind of overpowered, but I think they toned those things back down a little bit more. So, but all in all, things are pretty good now. In terms of Planetside 2, everything's fairly balanced. I don't know why these tanks don't have turrets on them, but here's where the turret would be for a Vanguard. It would be right here, and I don't know why it's not there. I guess it's just a weird glitch. But yeah, so thanks for watching, guys, and hopefully I could see you guys next time. Thanks, bye.